Welcome to the deep dive. Kaycee, you sent us a really compelling set of sources, just outlining this incredible story of fear and forgotten identity and, well, a past that just refuses to stay buried.
It's quite something, isn't it? A complex tapestry, like you said.
Totally. Woven from, a journalist's paranoia getting worse and worse, a little girl running away, and this high-stakes bank robbery from, what, decades ago?
Exactly. And the ripples spread out.
So today, we're not just, retelling the story. Our mission is to really unravel this intricate web based purely on the documents you provided, right?
Right. Pulling out what these sources tell us about identity, fear, and, the long shadow of consequences.
What's fascinating, and you pointed this out, is how your sources lay out these seemingly unrelated events in this small Kentucky town.
And how they just meticulously converge. It's quite detailed.
Yeah, it's not just Casey's personal terror, is it? Yeah. It's also the planning of this dangerous guy, a family ripped apart by grief.
And this, well, frankly surprising truth about a stolen past, it really makes you ask from the get-go, how much can our past define us? Especially when someone's deliberately hidden it.
And what does it take for those hidden truths to, finally bubble up?
Precisely.
Okay, so let's start right there with Kaycee Raye herself. Your sources introduce her as a journalist, right? Writes a column called Who's There?
Which is pretty ironic given her situation.
Totally ironic, because the documents paint this picture of her lifelong struggle with paranoia, something she apparently got from her mother.
Yeah, this constant sense of being watched. The sources are vivid. The street lamp with too few shadows. That creepy black barn next door.
Oh yeah, the sullen and taunting barn. And Mrs. Foley watching.
Right. It builds this atmosphere. Kaycee's inner thought, since childhood, she'd fought the strangling sense of being watched. It's deep-seated.
So what did your analysis of the sources show about where this foundational fear really came from and how it escalated?
Well, the sources are pretty clear it wasn't new. Like you said, almost generational from her mom. But the key thing, and the documents stress this, is the recent death of her best friend, Mandy.
Okay. So the grief.
The grief acts as a catalyst. It doesn't just, amplify the fear she already had. It sort of primes her, makes her vulnerable.
Vulnerable to what comes next.
Exactly. This pre-existing vulnerability, it's all laid out, creates this fertile ground for an external threat to exploit her deepest anxieties. Very targeted.
And it's right into that vulnerable state that, well, the first really terrifying thing happens, according to the sources. Kaycee gets home, kitchen table. There's a camera. Not hers. And it's somehow taken a picture.
All by itself, yeah.
She looks at it, it's a crotch picture of her, then one click.
And bam, this gruesome image, a dead man, eyes half open, holes in his jaw, forehead, blood.
Just horrific details. And then the words, "We see you."
That's it. That's the moment her internal fear becomes terrifyingly external. Right. Undeniable.
The personal photo, the extreme violence, that direct threat, it just launches her paranoia into, well, real danger.
Absolutely. And your documents make it clear this isn't random. It's calculated, designed specifically to prey on her fears.
And what's really insidious, as the sources show next, is how the attack also works to undermine her. Makes her seem unreliable.
Right, because she calls the police, Officer Mark Burnett.
And he's skeptical. The sources hint he knows her. She's called before about lurkers, especially since Mandy died.
Yeah, 4 times, the documents mention. So there's this history, maybe making him less inclined to believe this wild story.
And then the kicker, they go back to her house.
And the camera's gone, the picture's gone, vanished.
Which just fuels his doubt, right? Even though she's insisting, I told you that camera was here.
It leaves her questioning herself. Maybe sometimes your fears make you see things, that internal conflict.
So what is that tactic, the disappearing evidence? Tell us about the tormentor.
Oh, it's crucial. According to the materials, it does 2 things. 1, it isolates Kaycee, makes her doubt her own sanity, which is, exactly what someone doing this would want.
Lets the fear eat at her from inside.
Right. And 2, it shows meticulous planning. It's not just the shock. It's actively gaslighting her, eroding any chance she has of getting immediate help or validation. Very common tactic to disempower someone.
Okay. So while Kaycee's dealing with that, your sources cleverly shift focus, don't they, to another kind of desperation.
Yeah, over in Wilmore with Hannah Parksley.
Mandy's daughter, 9 years old.
Yeah.
And she is heartbroken.
Deeply. Her mom's stuff is disappearing. Her dad remarried super fast.
To Gail. And Gail has a daughter, Becky. Hannah feels forgotten.
Completely. The sources mention her whispering to her mom's photo, "Please tell God to make Dad send Gail away." Just devastating for a kid.
And all that emotional pressure, it pushes her to run away.
Into the night, with her little pink suitcase and pillow. Through this dark, small town, the sources capture her fear. The night was so very big.
Passing scary trees, that terrifying train. It really underscores her desperation, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows how different kinds of loss and fear can drive people, even kids, to desperate acts. A poignant counterpoint to Kaycee's situation.
And then, completely different city, Atlantic City. Your documents introduce the Giordano family.
Martin Giordano, bank employee, his wife, Lorraine, and their little girl, Tammy, who's sick.
4 years old.
Yeah.
And they can't afford proper medical care. That's the key motivator, right?
Yeah.
The sources stress his pressure.
Immense pressure. All the money. He couldn't even afford proper medical care for his only child.
Yeah.
It highlights that vulnerability. What will people do for loved ones?
Sets up his moral compromise.
Definitely. And that detail about his claustrophobia woven into the robbery description, it's subtle, but it feels like foreshadowing how personal fears erupt under pressure.
And pressure is exactly what happens next. The sources detailed this Atlantic City Trust bank robbery, meticulously planned.
4 guys, black ski masks, guns. Storm the bank after closing.
Martin and his coworkers forced into the vault. And boom, his claustrophobia hits. Air squeezed into Martin's lungs, the walls bent in.
Terrifying, and they steal a huge amount, almost $7 million. The leader's voice is described as clipped.
It sounds like a professional job, as you said. Very ruthless.
The scale of it just signals the high stakes for everyone involved. And Martin's claustrophobia, it humanizes the terror, but as we find out later, it connects to Kaycee's past too.
Okay, so the web really starts to tighten here. Your documents reveal one of the robbers, Nico, also called Rodney List, kills Martin Giordano. Just shoots him because he was too nervous.
Brutal. And Lorraine and little Tammy are hiding nearby in a closet. They hear the shots.
And Lorraine realizes, horribly, what Martin must have been involved in.
At the same time, back in Wilmore, Hannah Parksley is reported missing. Police treat it as worst case.
They find her note, don't they, under her pillow.
Yeah. Why did you marry Gail? You act like you've forgotten Mom and me. It's just heartbreaking. And then I asked Kaycee if I could live with her, but she said no, so I'm leaving.
Oh, the guilt Kaycee must feel. The sources say heat shot through Kaycee's limbs, thinking Hannah ran away because of her.
It's this convergence. Martin's murder links the robbery to fatal consequences, setting Lorraine on her path. Hannah's disappearance directly hits Kaycee, giving her this personal stake, this culpability mirroring her own fear. The net tightens.
And Kaycee's personal nightmare just keeps escalating in these bizarre ways, according to the sources.
Right. That second image of the dead man pops up, this time on her computer desktop.
But the really unsettling part, the major psychological attack, is that it matches details from a dream she had.
Exactly. The dead man with half-open eyes, blood spilled on a dark yellow floor, just like her dream at Trisha's house.
Her horror is palpable in the documents. How did they know? How were they doing this?
She suspects maybe sick readers of her column.
Then she finds an actual photo of the dead man in her car visor, with real blood on it.
And then the photo just fades to black while she's holding it. How do you prove that to the police?
She smells blood on her stairs.
It's just masterful psychological manipulation, as the sources detail it. Blurring reality, dreams, tech. It's all designed to break her down, make her doubt her own senses.
Isolate her completely.
Exactly. Making her ripe for what's coming.
Meanwhile, the police are working on Hannah's disappearance. Your sources mention surveillance video.
Yeah, shows Hannah near the railroad tracks, suitcase and all. Then she turns onto Rice Street. Train passes. Scares her.
And Officer Mark tells Kaycee the crucial detail. Her scent just vanishes on Walters Lane.
Which implies a vehicle pickup, right? The document suggests that. Moves the plot forward subtly.
But despite all this terror, Kaycee does something significant. She insists on staying in her house.
Yeah, to catch anyone lurking around. Even though Chief Davis is worried, Mark arranges surveillance.
It's a real shift for her, isn't it?
Absolutely. From passive fear to active, maybe dangerous defiance. She's not just a victim of paranoia anymore. She's trying to confront the source. A vital step, even if she doesn't realize why yet.
And confront it she does.
Yeah.
Directly. Terrifyingly.
Rodney List. Nico. Suddenly just appears in her living room.
Confirms he's the one tormenting her. Says he tapped her phone, knows her dreams, even smirks. For a columnist who spills her guts, you don't talk much.
Chilling. And then the hammer drops.
He tells her he killed Officer Nelson, the officer who was watching from Mrs. Foley's barn.
I shot him twice. In the jaw and in the head. Just like the man in the pictures.
That's the moment. All those scattered pieces just snap into place, don't they? As the sources present it.
It's the pivot. The unseen force is now revealed. Brutal, personal, deadly. His knowledge of her dreams, Nelson's murder mirroring the photos, it confirms this was all deliberate, aimed right at her.
The "we see you" wasn't just a threat.
It was a statement of terrifyingly precise knowledge.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting, as your sources lay it all bare. Rodney reveals Kaycee's deepest secret, her true identity.
She's Tammy Giordano, Martin and Lorraine's daughter.
Her dad wasn't killed in a car crash like her mom said. He was shot. And her mother, Lorraine, who's now Monica Ray, stole the $7 million after Martin died.
He shows her pictures, right, of Martin, her father, and little Tammy, which is her, challenges the whole narrative. Your mother told you lots of things.
And the memories just flood back for Kaycee. Daddy, her 4-year-old self, reaching for his face.
Came away red, and they smelled tinny and sweet. That visceral detail, remembering her mother running, screaming, a door opening to sunlight.
It's a total shattering of her identity.
Completely. It redefines everything. That worst fear of being watched, it was always deeper. She was being watched by her mother's past, by the consequences of that crime.
Her whole life, her paranoia, shaped by this hidden history.
The mother's story was a fabrication, yeah, a shield built from trauma. That memory of the blood is the physical link, showing how deep trauma gets buried but still influences us.
And Lorraine's actions.
Yeah.
Wow. The sources detail how audacious she was.
Takes the $7 million from the storage unit. Cuts her hair, Tammy's hair. New identities. Monica and Kaycee Raye.
Flees Atlantic City. And she even fakes evidence. Cuts her own arm, smears blood in the car.
Mm-hmm. For you, Kaycee, she apparently says. And then the most incredible part, hiding the money.
In the basement of the Wilmore police station. Disguised as bank records. Keep.
Hiding it in plain sight, its breathtaking defiance, shows the lengths she'd go to for revenge and protection, trauma forging this cunning resilience.
But Nick Rodney isn't done with Tammy yet. Your sources describe another critical moment.
He locks her in a closet, dark, confined, to force her memory about the money.
And her claustrophobia just overwhelms her. White-hot claustrophobia clawed Kaycee's throat, can't breathe.
She cries out, "Mommy!" And finally, "Nico, I remember."
That forced confrontation with her deepest fear is what unlocks the final piece, isn't it?
The documents present it that way, yes. A brutal catalyst. It shows how the body holds memories the mind represses and how extreme stress can sometimes force them out.
So with the memories back, she tells Nico where the money is. But then he brings Hannah out.
And Kaycee fights back. She's not just passive anymore, kicks his knee hard, it's snapped backward.
She and Hannah escape, run into the woods, and just then...
Mark Burnett arrives, alerted by Mrs. Foley, who saw Rodney go in.
Police! Drop it. 3 shots. Rodney falls.
And Kaycee's reaction to seeing Mark, the profile of a man risen from the dead. He holds her tight.
Hannah's safe. They cling together. Mark reassures her, "We've been looking all over for you, Hannah."
It's that moment of relief, justice. As the sources detail it, the immediate threat is gone. Mark, as the protector, finally arriving. The nightmare ending.
In the aftermath, Kaycee, now fully embracing her past, I guess, reveals Nico's real name, Joel Nicorelli, confirms Nelson's death.
And Mark apologizes. "About last night, I'm sorry I didn't believe you." A moment of reconciliation there.
Kaycee processes it all, and she writes her final column, goodbye and hello. Shares everything. Admits she wanted to quit writing out of fear.
But the guy who accused her of stirring up fear now encourages her. And her big takeaway from the column, fear is everywhere, but that's only half the story. The other half, God is bigger than fear.
It's a huge transformation, isn't it?
Yeah.
As depicted across your documents.
Profound. From Tammy, the victim of hidden trauma, to Kaycee, the journalist confronting it all, finding strength, forgiving Mark, redefining herself through courage. It's a powerful arc.
And that final act, going into the police station basement with Chief Davis and Mark.
Facing the claustrophobia head-on, where the money was hidden, the source documents emphasize this. The fear gripped her.
But she does it. Emerges. Yeah, I did it.
It's the ultimate proof of her reclaiming her narrative, facing the source of the fear.
The $7 million is found there. Kaycee says she has no idea where the money is now. Mentions the statute of limitations might be up for the robbery.
Right. The money's fate is ambiguous, complex justice, maybe. But it's Kaycee's personal transformation that's the real core insight here.
So wrapping this up for you, our listener, Kaycee's deep dive, forced on her really, offers this powerful lesson about how stories, the ones we're told, the ones we tell ourselves, shape our identity. our fears.
But it's also, as the sources really show, about human resilience when you finally face the truth.
Connecting it to the bigger picture, you see how trauma, the need to protect, can lead to this complete reinvention of identity, decades long.
Kaycee's journey, Pammy to Kaycee, writing about fear while living its legacy, it's such a poignant example of how unresolved pasts resurface, often dramatically.
Yeah, which really does raise that question for all of us, doesn't it? What hidden histories might be shaping your perceptions, your fears today?
And what courage could you find if you confronted them?
Think about that phrase, "we see you." For Kaycee, it started as pure terror, a weaponized fear.
But in the end, by confronting her past, embracing her true self, it became something else, self-realization.
So when you truly see yourself, the real origins of your fears, what power might that unlock for you?